I want to share a little bit in this now section of what we've shipped so far. And the very first thing that we've shipped is we have our first API user. It is a platform called Site. You may have used Site. It used to be called Cloud App. You might have used similar platforms like Loom or others as a way to visually communicate. And hopefully, let's see if this is true. I think I've got the CEO of Site here. All right, Scott, can you hear us? See if we can hear you.
I can, yeah, I can hear you guys.
Awesome, great. So why don't you go ahead and share your screen and show us how is Site using Storytell?
You got it. All right, so yeah, just to elaborate on Daniel's comments really quick on who we are and what we do. We basically help people communicate with visuals. So rather than trying to talk through a problem in Slack over thousands of threads, or just jumping on a quick call, because we all know quick calls are not quick. You can use our app to basically show what you're trying to say with a video, screenshot, annotation, etc. And so we've been working with Storytell over the last few months. We've been really excited. One of our PMs, actually, product managers, Finn, joined the Storytell team on a yacht earlier this year and hackathon in the ocean, which is pretty incredible. And so our kind of focus is basically to help our customers and our team make the content come alive and be easier to consume, and also to help people save time on understanding what's behind that content. And so we're trying to do things like save time, make it easier to read or to listen to or understand the content, and also just in general, try to increase the security of the content. So as Daniel mentioned, we are doing sort of Storytell now, and then we also have some thoughts and ideas and hopefully some expectations of working with them in the future. So I'll just walk through one quick example, and then I'll kind of show you a quick demo. So one of the problems that we typically experience, that we hear from folks, and I've heard that even Daniel does this sometimes too, is somebody makes a video that's 10 minutes long or 5 minutes long, and you send it to someone without any context, and it's just like, hey, check out this video. So you don't know if it's urgent, you don't know how important it is, and you kind of click the link and you start watching this 10-minute video. One of our PMs, Andrew, does this to me a lot. He's awesome, but he also kind of meanders through his presentations, his insights. And let me actually just take you to our demo. So when I open one of the videos that Andrew has created, I'm presented with very little context, as I mentioned. There's no title, there's really nothing in the discussion, there's no description. And it would be awesome, and it is awesome, that with Storytell, we can take this video and turn it into something that's interactive and summarized instantly. So what we've done is, first, we've created very straightforward. We've got a summary, we've got a transcript of the video. So we take all the conversation that's happened from Andrew's perspective over this 5-minute video. We get all the text, but still, like, no matter how we format this, it's still a lot of text, right? It's no more fun to read that than it is to watch the long video. So we've brought in this Storytell summary where you can click a simple button, and we're going to now go into the Storytell experience. And I'm just going to do this live. And so immediately we get this incredible executive summary of the problem. So, I mean, I don't know if you can see this, but it basically says, the data shows that users are not taking advantage of the dashboard feature to view events in real time. So like 5 minutes down to like 20 seconds. So for me as CEO, this is incredible. Also, on top of that, Storytell has taken a bunch of the key concepts throughout the video and condensed them into like, topical areas that I might want to click into. So, and then on top of that too, like if I actually want to interact with the content a little bit more, I can take one of these sort of chat conversations and just say like, let's see, how many users are using the dashboard? And so I'm going to get, like point in time citations. I can copy this. And again, this video has come alive. So this is really incredible. And this is something that, has been a kind of a V1. And what we're really excited about, I think, as we think about the future of this product for us and for our customers, is that, you can take all these different concepts in a video, and you can create automatic titles, automatic chapters based on the topical concepts. Again, you can auto summarize, it would be really cool to see auto editing. So, if somebody says or ah, or just isn't getting to the point, maybe you can automatically trim that. If, we have a team that's distributed around the globe. So being able to translate that into multiple language. And then lastly, we have customers and customer support who use our product, and they might record their screen, but capture like a social security number or something they shouldn't. So being able to see that, auto redact it, and make it intelligent. That's what we're excited about. And this is kind of what we've done with Storytell so far to date. Daniel, just any additional thoughts or comments you want to add?
Just a pleasure to be working with you and your team, Scott, and you're all invited on a boat next time we ship on a ship as well. So thank you for sharing that with us. Amazing work, group.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you for joining remotely, and you're welcome to stay on, but I know that you've got a family to attend to.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a few.
Okay. Great. All right, thank you, Scott. That was great. I'm gonna go back and share this here so that Scott, you can see as well. And so that's the first thing that we've shipped, is the ability to leverage Storytell through an API. All right, what else have we done in our first 7 months? We also launched a Chrome extension. So this is the ability to take Storytell with you. And so there's a Chrome extension in the Chrome store. You can load it onto your browser. And if you have long content, you can use Storytell to summarize it. You can ask a prompt, use prompts to ask about, I want to get the Barbara pyramid principle, which came from Pierre. Where's Pierre here? Pierre loved that prompt, so we built it into a prompt library for him. But it's a way for you to interact with the content through a Chrome extension. But then we had users like Glow tell us, well, I can't use the Chrome extension at my work. It's not something that is an allowed Chrome extension. Is there another way that I could be interacting with Storytell? We said, Glow, we could build that for you. So we also have created Storytell.ai, which is a web app. I'm glad, I hope you don't mind. I shared a LinkedIn post that you put out into the world. It's public. I figured it's public. I don't post about products unless I'm an avid user, and I've tried and tested a lot of some of these tools. This one is again special. And that was about our launch of the web app. So thank you, Glow, for your support. And we're just so happy to be building for you. And everybody who can't use the Chrome extension, now you can use Storytell.ai to also distill signal from noise. So this is the second thing that we've done. All right, but there's more. We also had this CEO of a startup. His name is Max. Max is in Europe right now. He couldn't be here tonight, but he said, happy to have you share my story. And so I'm sharing what Max said. Max said, is it possible to chat GPT style talk to my transcript? I'd love to ask it certain questions based on that. E.g., in the last meeting, what is the description of the agreement and how the product and engineering departments will work together? That would save us a ton of time. Furthermore, imagine if Storytell builds up a custom model based on all the conversations my company, Stellate, has reported. And I can just ask the model questions based on all its knowledge. This is just that one transcript. And then you've got 3 mind-blowing emojis. How has the messaging in how we describe Stellate to customers changed over time? Or what's the latest way we describe Stellate to candidates? Or what are the common questions Max has asked candidates in his hiring manager one-on-one interviews, etc.? This would be seriously a game changer for us and save us so much time. My mind is blown. That'd be huge for us, like a 4 out of 4 solution for many of our most important internal problems. So we built that. We just recently are starting to ship something that we call Virtual Me. Virtual Me is the ability to load a lot of knowledge into a container and then ask that container, that virtual self, a number of questions. Now, live demos are notoriously bad ideas for the groups, but would you all like to see this? I'm excited to share this. All right, let's give it a try. So I'm going to go over, for example, to my virtual meeting. So this is a version of me that I've loaded with a lot of my knowledge. It's better than me in a lot of respects. It speaks 100 languages. It's always awake. It doesn't get tired of answering the same question over and over and over again. It's got endless patience. And so we could ask it a question. I run this community called Founder Culture. What is Founder Culture? And I'll zoom in here. And we can see what my virtual me says. Founder culture is a community of founders, entrepreneurs, who are working to build a world-changing companies. So the virtual me is now reaching into all the knowledge that I've uploaded from my head, and now it's accessible to anybody who wants to interact with it. Also, we've heard from our users, it really matters to us that we understand what the source of the content was. And so we have these footnotes, and I can say, I want to understand what that came from. And that pops up in the side panel, and we can see, we call story tiles, which are little nuggets of information. We still using AI. So this came from this piece of content. This came from this piece of content, etc. So now we can actually dig into the source. So that is virtual me. But the next thing that we heard from our users, where is Stephen? So Stephen is a product manager, and Stephen said, well, I don't want to just talk to one virtual me. I want to be able to talk to a lot of people at once. I want to load all of the hundreds of calls I've ever had with my customers into some system so that I can ask them all questions. I want to be able to chat with my customers virtually to find patterns, and then I can go call them up. And so we said, okay, we hear you. We built virtual we. Virtual we is a larger container that can have multiple virtual me's. And there are a number of use cases for this. Stevens is one, and there's actually a very similar one for the Storytell Crew that we've been testing. We literally just shipped this 6 hours ago. So you're the first people to see it. And so we can ask the Storytell Crew. So here's Taha, here's Parker. We can say, what do you do at Storytell, for example? And now we can see multiple virtual me's answering. So now let's see how these virtual me's are answering. So we've got Margot, the operations lead, answering as the operations lead at Storytell. I'm responsible for overseeing the day-to-day operations of our organization, etc. We've got Erica's virtual me answering. Now Erica is answering, what do you do at Storytell? As what does Storytell do for the world? What offering do you have at Storytell? So I see how Erica rolls here. At Storytell, we're creating a platform where a virtual version of individuals can be the first point of contact, sharing their foundational knowledge. And then we've also got Jovia's virtual meeting that answered as well. So this is a way to interact with multiple virtual meets. I'll give you another example, which is very much like Stephen's use case for Stellate, very similar. They're letting all of the tools, all the information that they have. And so here are 3 Stellate customers. And we can ask them a question. Stellate is a company that's building a GraphQL caching layer. It's a super technical product. And we can say, what challenges are you facing with GraphQL? So now the Stellate customers are answering. And we can see what each Stellate customer is saying. So this is a way to interact with the knowledge that's been uploaded